Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this video. Trump is proposing a 50-year mortgage for Americans. Check out these two news clips.
It's the same as renting in my view, so I don't like the idea.
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it
30
means
to
is you
50, yeah.
pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor.
Economists are sounding the alarm on Trump's 50-year, he says no factor, mortgage proposal. Simply put, math isn't mathing.
No, I don't think that's going to really change the metrics for people. What's happened in the mortgage market over the last 4 years is we had this extraordinary period where interest rates were sub 4%, so mortgages are 3.8 to 4.2, which is extraordinary over a 50-year metric. Because we've got to remember, mortgages in America have been 7% forever, and many people bought homes and were successfully ending up owning all the equity in them at 7%. We even went up to 17% for a while. But during this really strange period, rates went down below 4. And people yearn for that. But now this is just kind of a financial engineering, because the amount of interest you're going to pay over 50 years, you'll never own the home. That's the problem.
This morning, new backlash as the Trump administration moves forward with a plan to introduce 50-year mortgages.
It looks to be like the president's looking for a quick fix to a market that is fundamentally broken right now.
Over the weekend, Trump sharing this image comparing the proposal to the 30-year mortgage policies championed by FDR nearly a century ago. The move could potentially kickstart the now stagnant real estate market. Homes are currently seeing the lowest turnover rate in 30 years, and the median age of first-time home buyers just hit an all-time high of 40 years old.
It's really difficult to see right now for younger borrowers how they are going to be able to afford a home.
A longer fixed-rate mortgage would lower monthly payments, but would also create a higher total cost because of all that interest over 5 decades. Take a $400,000 loan at 6% interest. Under a 30-year mortgage, the monthly payment would be just shy of $2,400. Under a 50-year loan, it drops to just over $2,100, a savings of nearly $300 a month. But over time, that savings is erased by a much larger interest bill, because while the total interest on a 30-year loan would be about $463,000, the interest on a 50-year loan would total more than $860,000. Many, including longtime allies of President Trump, are not on board with the idea. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, quote, "It will ultimately reward the banks, mortgage lenders, and home builders, while people pay far more in interest over time and die before they ever pay off their home, in debt forever, in debt for life."
And the White House has not yet explained how it would get around the Dodd-Frank Act, which effectively bans mortgages longer than 30 years.
Okay, so you guys just got done watching those news clips. So basically, Trump, who is out of touch because he's, a millionaire, so he really doesn't know about consumerism right now, especially when it comes to home buying. So basically, this whole 50-year mortgage is a trap. It may sound good because you're paying a lower payment, but in the end, you're paying triple that for a house that you're not even going to live in for 50 years. Because some people croak before they turn 70 something, 80 something. Because isn't the average lifespan of an American these days 70 years old? I digress. So, the delusional president that we have proposed a 50-year mortgage so people could become home buyers because nobody is buying homes. It's just that there's a shortage of homes because nobody's moving out their homes. So he got it ass backwards. So basically, we just need to build more homes that are affordable for people to get into so they can start being homeowners instead of taking houses away and jacking up prices, and people are not moving either way. So, Bill Pulte, he's the Federal Housing Finance Agency director of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And he says this will come, this will happen, and that this will be a game changer for Americans. But as I was doing my research, a lot of financial experts were against this. They're saying no, it's going to leave a lot of people in debt. A lot of houses are not going to be paid off because people just wouldn't be able to afford it. It's going to enrich the banks and not the people. Yeah, you'll save $200-$300. Yeah, but you just won't have any equity in your home when you want to sell it in 10 years. So the 50-year mortgage can lower monthly payments so more can buy. And the financial experts are warning against it, that it will not let homeowners build equity in their houses. So a lot of people are saying that you can build equity in 10 years with a 30-year loan, but with a 50-year loan, you have little equity to sell, little equity in anything, and you still don't own it. Not even halfway, because when I was doing my research, I guess one article said that people pay off their 30-year mortgage in 7 to 10 years. And they refinance and pay it off that way. But I guess with a 50-year mortgage, you can't do that. You know, it's going to be hard to sell it. Equity is being built at a much slower pace than you would have at a 15, 25, 30-year loan on the same house that you are purchasing. 50-year mortgages does not fit the definition of a qualified mortgage under the Dodd-Frank Act. The Dodd-Frank Act, known as Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, was passed by Congress in 2008 in response to the financial industry that led to the 2000-2008 crisis. Named after Christopher Dodd and Bernie Frank, it was for the consumer and the taxpayers to be more safe financially, so this wouldn't happen again. But with this, it feels like it's just gonna make it even worse. The only way that it would work out for borrowers on the 50-year mortgage, if the home prices rise, but if they fall, they could be in deep financial trouble. And it would just look bad. It would look bad. I don't see this coming into fruition, you guys, because a lot of people are against this. You know, just build more housing people can afford. I'm not talking about tiny homes, and a lot of people don't want to live in those. But houses that are not, skyrocketing, you know. So tell me what you guys think about this. Leave a comment below. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head. Have a great day, YouTube.
Y'all want to hear some fucked up news? So Frumpy wants to one-up everybody and they mama. He's imposing 50-year mortgages, saying that people are slow because 50-year mortgages mean people pay less every month. That is bullshit. Does he not know what a fucking interest rate is? The only people that will be getting out on top during these mortgages are the banks. The banks will have interest rates on top of your mortgage. So let's just say my mortgage is $125,000. That's a 5.7 interest rate. That's 600 monthly payments. My mortgage would be $562.50. That sounds great, right? Now multiply that times 600. That's around $337,000. When you subtract that $337,000, add plus 500, and you subtract that from $125,000, baby, the bank is getting paid $212,000 roughly. So I've paid almost double of what my fucking house actually costs. No one is winning in that situation but the fucking banks. So trying to do a 50-year mortgage on people just so they pay a little bit less every month really doesn't add the fuck up. It actually steals from people trying to just have something of their own. Don't let that man fucking fool you.
Great news. We actually have a 50-year mortgage option now.
Okay. And how much is that going to save me per month?
Let me check. Wow, this is actually going to save you $275 per month. That's huge.
All right. And how much more interest am I going to be paying over the course of the loan?
Great question. I love where your head's at. Let me just do the math real quick. Roughly $475,000.
Thought so. How old will I even be by the time I get done paying this off?
Another great question. Let me just do the math because you'll probably have to refinance like 7 or 8 or 13 times. So you will be approximately 127 years old.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that it's worth it.
I get that, okay? But if it's any consolation, most of your loved ones are going to be dead by the time you're done paying this off anyway. So you won't even have anyone to enjoy a house with.
Are you serious? No, that's not a consolation at all. I don't think you know what consolations are.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, here's another way of thinking about it. We're all probably going to be robots in 50 years anyway, so this is all pretty much moot.
Actually, weirdly, that is a little bit of a consolation.
I can't afford that payment. Is there any way you can put more money down? I can barely do the 5%. Right. If it wasn't for all these companies buying up houses and driving up prices, then us homebuyers wouldn't have to compete with corporations that turn thousands of homes into rental homes. Excuse me, I think I can help you with your problem. How? We're now offering a 50-year mortgage. Since when? Which means your payment would drop about $200. But over the 50 years, the customer would pay an extra $500,000 in interest. You'd be in debt your whole life. I think you're onto something. Really? Yeah, but instead of 50, can we do a 100-year mortgage? What? That would drop my payment even more, right? Let me calculate that real quick. You can't be serious, are you? That would drop your payment an extra $100. So you'd be paying $2,000 a month. And we'd be getting paid $2 million in interest. That's still too high. Thank you guys anyway, though. Wait, what if we did a multi-generational 500-year loan? Your payment would be $950. And we would be getting paid $5,300,000 in interest. We are not going to be here. Deal. Now I know how my parents felt to have a mortgage payment under $1,000.
Your housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So a significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you know, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is you pay something less. From 30, that some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor.
We about to fact check this. First, if you mess with me, make sure you hit that follow button. Let's get it. What the hell is he talking about? Donald Trump is clearly trying to get his billionaire friends more wealthy. And in this video, I'm going to explain how he's doing it. You see, early this month, the Trump administration mentioned that Trump wants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to go public. You see, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are mortgage companies, but they don't give out loans. No, they actually buy these mortgages from banks and lenders, then sell these into bonds to other investors. Now, purchasing these bonds were considered safe because they were backed by the government. If you don't know, in 2008, during the housing crisis, the government took over these two companies so they don't go bankrupt. So that means Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac has been under the government power for about 17 years. And because these two companies are backed by the government, more people are buying these bonds. And since more people are buying these bonds, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac has to buy more mortgages, meaning that the banks and the lenders are going to give more mortgages out. Which is why it makes sense that both of these companies collectively make 70% of the housing market. So if these companies are no longer a part of the government, then that means that these bonds are no longer safe, meaning that buying these bonds are going to be more of a risk when purchasing them. Donald Trump is basically allowing investors to enter a $20 billion industry, which will make buying homes more expensive. But because these bonds aren't backed by the government, mortgage rates are going to go high, which is why Donald Trump is offering a 50-year mortgage loan. He's trying to get more people to buy more houses so they can get more loans, so Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac can sell them and make more profit. And if these companies are no longer part of the government, his friends now can invest in these companies and make more money off of the home industry.
Are 50-year mortgages about to become a thing? Just yesterday on Truth Social, Trump posted this image here showing that he's for a 50-year mortgage. And this appears to be his way of addressing the affordable housing crisis that America's in right now. I posted a poll yesterday asking if I should start making opinion-based content rather than just giving you facts, and you guys can see 40% want me to just keep it real. So I'm going to keep it real about this. So you're about to get the raw, real, uncut version of what I think about the 50-year mortgages that Trump is proposing. So what's the idea behind a 50-year mortgage? Well, if we can extend a traditional loan from 30 years out to 50 years, what that basically does is it brings down the monthly payment of the house. Therefore, houses become more affordable for everybody. So it's not really addressing the root cause of the issue, and the root cause of the issue is we don't have enough houses. So rather than working with builders, we'll work with banks so that we can create some sort of environment where houses at least become affordable for a little bit of time. Here's why I say a little bit of time. So when you take a loan that's traditionally 30 years and you extend it out 50 years, two things happen. The first thing that happens is the interest rate of the loan automatically changes. So the longer you go out with any loan, I don't care if we're talking about a car loan, a personal loan, a mortgage, anything like that, the interest rate automatically jumps. So if at 30 years, a bank is going to offer you 6.5%, if you extend that out to 50 years, it's probably going to be something like 7.5 or 8%. So up front, the bank is getting their money no matter what in the form of interest. Yes, your monthly payment might be smaller, but they're still getting their interest regardless. So the banks could care less because ultimately they're still making money off of you. The second one is this. I made a little table for you. This is assuming a 6.5% interest rate on a house that's $400,000. On a 60-year mortgage, your monthly payment is going to be $2,500. The total amount of interest that you're going to pay over that 30 years is $510,000. If you extend that out to 50 years, you're paying back more than $1 million. And that's assuming that the interest rate stays the same from 30 years to 50 years, which it's not going to. So that means that by extending it out 20 years, you're saving a couple $100 a month on your mortgage payment, but you're paying back more than $1 million on a $400,000 house. That doesn't make sense. And an argument can be made for, well, why not just refinance the house once you're 5 or 10 years in? You could definitely do that. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't address the root cause. The root cause is we don't have enough houses. So you're basically putting a Band-Aid on a bigger problem. What's essentially going to happen is if everybody's doing 50-year mortgages and refinancing houses, people are still staying in those same houses. So we're still going to have the shortage 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. You have to address the root cause, which is home builders. They need to start building more houses. So 50-year mortgages, horrible idea for your wealth and horrible idea for the housing market.
Did you all hear about this 50-year mortgage? Is it actually saving you more money? We're going to break it down for you because this is the new idea that's being floated around to fix the housing crisis. And President Trump suggested that extending mortgages from 30 to 50 years could make monthly payments cheaper and help more Americans afford a home. But here's the truth that nobody is saying. A 50-year mortgage is a trap. On paper, sure, the payment does look a little smaller, but once you do the math, you end up paying way more in interest. You build almost no equity for the first decade, and if the housing market dips even slightly, you're instantly underwater on your home. And get this, the real savings is tiny. Going from a 30-year to a 50-year only lowers the payment by about 5 to 8%. That's like saving the cost of Netflix while adding 20 more years of debt. Meanwhile, the average homeowner sells in like 12 years, meaning you'd barely pay off any principal before starting all over again. And if the rates drop, you try to refinance. If the rates rise, the banks win. Every time. So listen, the real fix isn't stretching loans longer. It's building more homes, unlocking an inventory, and lowering the cost of entry, not locking families into mortgages that last longer than most marriages. A 50-year mortgage isn't affordability, it's delayed bankruptcy. Appreciate you.